Hola everyone, we are back for another episode of College Profits, and I'm here by myself, but don't fret, don't worry, I've got plenty of info for you guys. I finally get to get my point across without being interrupted, but we'll get into that a little later on. This show is real big, NBA draft upcoming, love this time of year. Kind of slows down for the other sports, so you get to kind of really focus on what's going on, who the teams are looking at. Some potential guys who I think will make a big jump as far as helping a team out in the first year. You know, there's a lot going on right now with the NCAA and the NBA trying to push the age limit up, trying to make sure that so-called investors, when you talk about team owners, are actually getting most of their money when it comes to signing a young guy. When I say that, I'm kind of steering towards NBA owners drafting more on potential than they are on the actual talent and experience that these guys have had. Case in point, you've got one and done players, Andrew Wiggins, you've got Joel Embiid, who's kind of hit a little bit of a rough patch with the injuries and him being set back a couple of months. So we'll see where all that pans out in the next couple of months throughout the summer. But first and foremost, you've got some high-profile guys at the top of the draft. Those guys are really young. We're talking 18, 19 years old in some cases, you know, the oldest out of the bunch being maybe 20. What I want to kind of focus on are a few of the guys who've had spent more than 2 years in college. Actually, a few of them are 3 or 4 years. We're talking seniors and juniors and guys that have played, you know, a good majority of minutes. First off, I think Doug McDermott, he's going to be sort of that mid to late round, first round pick. Very good shooter. He can score, he can help a team out defensively a little bit, as long as you don't press him into a lot of one-on-one defense. But I think that guy right there, he's going to shine through because he has experience. Another dark horse pick I like, DeAndre Kane, guard from Iowa State. He's an older player. He's 24, 25, I believe. Well, he'll be 25 after the draft, I believe. But he's a guy who's spent 3 years, I believe it was Michigan State. After that, he transferred over to Iowa State. He spent some time with Fred Hoiberg. Kind of changed his game, developed a little more, matured. That's definitely an instance where you got a guy who maybe if he entered the draft last year or the year before, you're getting a marginal pick. Now that he's spent the time, he's matured a little bit, he's developed and grown in his game, he's one of those guys who you look at and say, you know, hey, maybe spending 3 years in college, you know, 4 years, might be a good idea for us. You know, it's just one of those things where I feel like the NBA and the owners are trying to kind of push that agenda a little bit, and maybe the players kind of pushing back. But we'll see how that goes. I really like those guys. We'll see how it turns out when it comes up in the draft. On the other side of the break, we'll talk about NCAA and Mark Emmert. See you guys in a minute.